So today we're just going to replace the thermal paste of my PS4. Back cover off, let's sit down the corner. So in order to remove the motherboard of the PS4, many guides tell you to remove everything on the back first, but that's not the case because you don't have to. You can run through how you're going to do that. Now these screws you don't have to keep track because they're about the same, but the screws on the front panel that you have to keep track of because that's quite a mess. Remove the grounding plate. Okay, I've done this a couple of times, especially removing this panel. Now you want to be careful of a small cable. Just you don't want to rip it off because you can rip it off. And remove it gently, like so. So this is the power supply. Set that on the corner. Now what you want to do here is you want to remove these 4 cables: the Wi-Fi antenna cable, the blu-ray disc reader cables. These 2 cables here can be simply pulled up anyway. You want to be gentle on these cables because these can bend and break. Okay, once you get all 4 cables disconnected, you want to deroute this Wi-Fi cable, and you're done at the back. So what I suggest you guys do is put the back plate on because you don't want to damage any of this when you set it on its back. Just go to the once you get the power supply and remove the cables, you want to remove the front removable panel. That's the first thing you want to do, like so. Set that on the side, and you want to remove the hard disk. You want to remove this pretty cool screw. Set that on the corner. You don't want to lose that screw. It's a pretty cool screw. And set the hard disk on the corner. Now what you do is you want to remove these 2 screws here and one at the back here. Once you get that off, you want to remove this black screw here. Like so. Now this part is tricky at first, but at first when I did it to clean up just the top, it was kind of a mess for me. So what you want to do is pull up on this corner and pull up on this corner and just slide it to the back. It comes off just like that. I'll set that piece on the corner, and now get ready to have a lot of screws removed. So what I did before I'm doing this is I printed this layout also on the iFixit website, and put a bunch of glue tack pieces on the paper, so when I put the screw, it'll be in one place. If you still have warranty, I suggest you don't do this. So the screws I'm removing right now are all T8. Make sure you put them like what I'm doing. You don't want to lose these screws. I've had this PS4 for more than 4 years, so I mean it's about time. The PS4 doesn't get that hot, but it does. It's kind of loud. You can remove this metal shield. Okay, and that's all the screws off. Like I said, this is my screw layout. You can see I put the screws on the blue tack. Stays in one place pretty well. Once you do that, you want to remove this little cable here. Just gently pull on it. You also want to remove the fan connector like that. Then lift the shield off. Just checking for dust, and there's not much. And as you can see, these are the thermal pads which you do not want to remove or touch with these. Since I don't have any replacement thermal pads, I don't want to touch them, because you just don't want to touch them. Next, you have to remove the clamp. Just keep in mind the amount of tension there is. Don't want to touch it. Just don't touch it. Okay, once you get that off, you want to lift of it. Remember, you take this thing off like a clip. Just remove it just like that. It comes off. This is the power button. Don't do this. Remove all your USB connections. You want to lift and straight out like so. Now you don't want to touch any of the component. There's a thermal paste, and here's the motherboard of the PS4. It's actually my first time doing this and I'm quite nervous. Here's a little piece which comes off easily, so you want to set it on a corner. Don't forget to put that on. It's a grounding screw for the shield. Okay, just evaluating my plan here. I'm going to set this on the side. Once you do that, there will be 2 screws here. Just remove the shield here. There will be 3 screws actually. Yeah, 3 screws. Again, don't lose these pieces, these screws. And this is the heatsink, boys. It's quite dusty and I'm getting quite irritated with the dust. Okay, so one set this also on the corner. And this is a fan. Just remove 1 screw here. You can see there's a lot of dust. Okay, so this is where I'm going to take a break. Clean this dust off with a vacuum cleaner. and I'll be back. Alrighty guys, so I cleaned up the fan, and I cleaned up the chassis of the PS4. Now what I'm going to do is change the thermal paste. So before I do that, I'm just going to insert this panel back in. No, actually, yeah. First I'm going to insert the fan, put the fan screw back on. Simple as that. And you want to put the screw back on. Then you want to put this plate back on. Now I got some alcohol swabs here, so I'm going to clean that with alcohol, of course. And yeah, I want to make sure that all the dirt is off the plate. Just do one more alcohol cleanup, like so. Once you got that done, you want to do this one now. So I'm going to do that off cam, and I'll be back to you guys. It's pretty simple. I want to clean all the thermal paste around the chip, and yeah. Alright guys, I removed the thermal paste, and this is how it should look before you apply new thermal paste. What is recommended you guys do is you add more than usual thermal paste. So I'm going to zoom in for you guys so you can get a better view. First of all, before I do that, I'm going to clean up the workstation.
2 hours later.
Alright, now I'm using Arctic MX4 thermal paste. I'm going to put a cross, and maybe that's the most effective based on my understanding. Yeah. So now to put the screws back on. These 3 screws. Don't forget those. Okay. So now the board is ready to be put in. Once again, make sure that all the wires are out so you can put it back in. Like that. You want to give it a little press. And now you can put your cables back on. Like so. Okay, now I'm going to just make sure that I didn't miss anything, and I'll be back. I'm doing good. I'm going to review the footage I just now took. Everything seems to be fine. Next thing I want to do is insert the power button. Let's give it a nice wipe. And guess what? I got a heart from consequence. Yeet. You want to insert this clip. Just give it a little click just to make sure that it, clicks in. And this part here, it has like a little bump that's facing down. Tighten them evenly. Not too tight, remember that. No, I'm filming also. I want to remember also this little piece I said before. This thing just goes here, okay? Now you're ready to move on to the last easy steps. I'm going to put this plate back on. So it goes forward like that. Now you can put the hard disk back in. Just give the pins a little wipe. And now you can install all the screws, so this will take some time. And that's the final screw, guys. Yeet. And the final screw has to be in this. Yeah, about 10. Okay. Go to final clean. And it'll slide into place. Yeah. And put the screws back on. To mention, guys, is if you're using if you are going to change your thermal paste, make sure you use a non-conductive thermal paste. Check, this is not conductive. At least I hope it's not. We'll just check if it is. So what you want to do is insert these cables. Okay, and now everything is in. This tool is also in its place. So just vacuum clean the power supply. Alrighty. Checking. While you're inserting the power supply, just press down on these cables. Okay. Alrighty guys, the camera just stopped when I was inserting the back panel, but as you can see everything is intact, and I'm going to do a small test if it works. Let's hope it works. And yeah, okay, it's white, and we have the boot up, and it works. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and peace out.